Liquor Talk, a brand new episode starts now. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Liquor Talk podcast. Shout out to everybody that's joining us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts at. And also shout out to everybody listening on the MBG Podcast Network and also the Podmatch Podcast Network. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 2 of season 8 of the Liquor Talk podcast. I'm your man Victor, and joining me today, podcasting out of Los Angeles, California, it is Simone, the neighborhood homegirl. Welcome to Liquor Talk. How you doing tonight?
Hey Victor, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm back where I love to be, which is on the mic, because hey, it's the one thing, it brings stress, it relieves stress just to get on the
Yeah.
mic. Um, Thank you for blessing the Liquor Talk with your presence. We got a long distance episode, y'all, because I'm in Florida, she in California. And to all my
Mhm.
content creators out there, I'll give y'all this quick note. If you want to find quality people that will show up for you, get people not in your hometown. Um, I'm just being real. To all those people out there, hey, I give y'all grace, but hey, take it for what it is. But hey, nevertheless, Simone, why don't you tell us about your platform, the Neighborhood Homegirl?
Mhm. Well, I'll give you like a little quick backstory like about me. So in college I majored in English and then I for my graduate degree, I have a graduate degree in creative writing. I was my first goal, my first dream for myself, I should say, was to be like a filmmaker. So I had like my own production company and I would like, produce, write, cast. I would do like everything. I was wearing so many hats. My own like short films and like web series. And I had like one little music video or whatever that was basically like paying homage to the Fresh Prince. Um, so I knew that in order to be like to like basically navigate into like an industry that's very competitive, which is like the film industry, one of the many industries in the entertainment industry that's very competitive. I was like, in order to get in those doors, I would have to be doing something different. So, and I was like, I was already a writer, so I was like, maybe I should start, considering journalism. So I reached out to an individual. And I started, he owned a magazine company. So I kind of helped him like I guess you can say, how do I say it nicely? I kind of helped him, I guess, be a little bit more like professional. I don't want to say that, but yeah, I mean, to be honest, he was just all over the place. So I kind of helped him like, conduct business differently. So I went from like writing and for him to like editing, to like content management. I was doing like a lot. So I would say that that's where I started. Really falling in love with journalism. I love telling people stories. So I've been a journalist for a little over 10 years now, and I've written for like numerous like publications or whatnot. Um, but then I was like, I want to start telling my own stories and like stories that were like close to home to me and that resonated with me or whatnot. So I started the neighborhood homegirl, and I wanted it to be specifically for like black culture, black lifestyle. I'm rooting for everybody black type of thing, right? In my Issa Rae voice.
Mhm.
So, I created like a website, and I did it on my own. It's not perfect, but like these like people that do the websites, like I know we paying for your time, but those things are pricey. So I was like, let me just do it for myself, just something to get started. So I created a TikTok for that, and I would just post like my articles and stuff. But my friend was like, maybe you should start doing videos talking about it. And I was like, I don't really like talking. Like I'm more so like a selfie type of person, like a duck lips and a little kissy face, peace sign. That's it for me. But I started getting more comfortable like in front of the camera, and then I'm like, okay, this would be a way for people to like, come to, visit my website. Um so I started doing that, and then I just had the idea to start the neighborhood sessions, which is my podcast. And I wanted it to be like real conversations with like, old friends, new friends. I like to call them my homegirls or my homeboys. And so yeah, that's just a little bit about that. And I'm currently gonna upload a second episode. I already have one on YouTube, and yeah, so that's
Yeah.
a little summary about me.
That's what's up. That one you did, it did sound like you're a real natural at it. So,
Oh, thank
and
you. I appreciate it.
following up from that episode, Now, why do you feel like people will get into a relationship knowing they're not healed, but then when they become healed, it's like now they don't want the person? This is something I've never understood too, because sometimes I admit I've done it way in the past, but it's like why settle for somebody that you wouldn't deal with when your healed self wouldn't deal with?
It's crazy because I had an ex and I told them that exact thing. Maybe it was like me, like this person was like really like a narcissist. Like I don't like to like diagnose people with stuff, but he had every trait of a narcissist, and I would tell him like you're talking to all these people, but would the healed version of you talk to them? So to answer your question, why do we get into relationships with people when we're not healed? Ugh. I mean, I would say like some people are afraid to be, it could be for numerous reasons. Like some people are afraid to be alone. Some people like I said, they battle with like, narcissistic tendencies or disorder or whatever, and they just feed off of people's like energy, whether it being positive or negative. Um some people, yeah, like some people just, I don't know, like I just feel like some people just want like companionship. They just want to have just someone in their corner. I have friends who like they deal with people like guys that they're not really interested in because they just don't want to be like alone. So I'm telling them like, well, how can you just lay up with a person and you're not even interested in that person, like it's just someone to like pass time. But then it's just like, let's say I invite you out somewhere and you're laid up with your homeboy or homegirl, and your king or your queen could be at the place I'm trying to invite you at and you're at home, like yeah, it's I don't know. People have their own like traumas and stuff, but it could be a little
Yeah,
messy.
it
Why do you
is. I feel like people, it's like you said, nobody don't want to be alone, and also maybe they just feel like they just better under somebody than to sit down and just address the issues. Like
yes.
for all that matter, I'd rather you just go see a therapist than to be laid up and booed up with somebody you know you're not going to be dealing with long term, or you know that if you're in your right mind, then you're not going to be dealing with them. But sometimes we be hypnotized by whether it's in the bedroom or this person buy me things or this person's actually making time for me. It's like
Yeah.
a person could be making all the effort in the world, but yet you don't want them. So this is why I kind of respect the people that will just say, "Hey, I'm not interested," compared to the ones that will pretend they're interested just to get the benefits because they don't want to be alone and because they don't want to address the issues that are at
Right.
hand with themselves.
Right. And I think the best like me, it took me a while to learn to like be alone and love my alone time. Now I love being alone. Like I find peace like being by myself. I feel like that's a really great way to like heal from, past relationships, cuz jumping from one relationship to another, it's like you don't have that time to like mourn or like grieve that relationship. And also
Mm-hmm.
it gives you a space to where it's like, you spend so much time alone, you can discover new things about yourself or whatnot. And then, so it's like, if you do get in a relationship and that relationship doesn't work out, you'll be like, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to be good by myself because I know that I've spent time alone by myself, and I know that I'm going to be okay. Like, if this relationship was to kind of like drown. So, yeah,
Exactly. And
definitely.
another thing about being alone from relationship and not hopping from relationship to relationship is you take time to better yourself, to take time to figure out where
Yeah.
did I go wrong and hold yourself accountable. Now, I'm not saying don't beat the shit out yourself, you know what I'm saying? Don't beat yourself up having a pity party. Don't give yourself some grace, but also hold yourself accountable at the same time. So I feel
Hmm.
like a lot of people, they don't do that when they just be jumping from relationship to relationship because after a while, people are gonna realize the common denominator is you. You're the one with the problem. You're the one that's always hopping from relationship to relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And then it's like, it's also kind of like you're doing a disservice to yourself, but also that other person, especially if they were looking for something serious. Because I've been on the other end of the table where it's like that person had broken up with somebody and didn't take time to heal before getting with me. And then when they were with me, they realized that they wanted to explore other options. And I'm like, you could have done that before you got with me had you spent that time alone. So definitely.
Yeah, Yeah, and that definitely happened to me too. It's like I was definitely on the other end of that as well. And I'm like, this person is getting out of a whole marriage, and now you
Yeah.
want to talk to me. I'm like, you know what? You keep comparing me to that ex husband a little too much. It's like I know I got my flaws, but my flaws ain't his
Yeah.
flaws, and it really feels like you're not giving me that grace. So, and honestly, looking back at that situation, I probably should have cut off myself, but you live and you
So,
learn,
but did
right?
they end the relationship with you, or was it like a mutual thing?
Um, what's bad about this situation is they just flat out ghosted me. They ain't tell me whether or not they needed
Mm.
space. They just went ghost. And I'm
How
like,
long were y'all talking?
we would talk for like a good 6 months and they just went ghost and out of nowhere. And I'm like, right when I'm about to get shit together in my own life, things about to fall into place. But you know what?
Yeah.
I look at it as addition by subtraction. So
Yeah. Just take a
yeah.
you learn something from that. I feel like in any relationship, friendship, whatever it is, or work or whatever it is, you always learn something from that. And you know, like, oh yeah, next time I'm gonna move a little differently. We're
Yes,
forever learning.
always.
Hmm.
Always, forever learning. So now I know you only dropped one episode, but I'll ask you this anyway. What's something about podcasting you wish you have known before you got started?
Oh, I say this a lot, but it's like people really like people could be very disappointing. It's so hard
Hello.
getting guests. It's like people that even it's like like for instance, like with my experience in journalism, I've encountered people that I've interviewed, might have interviewed them in the past, and I reach out to them and I tell them like, like, hey, I'm creating this platform for myself. I would love to have you. Like I try to build a working relationship. And then they either like ghost me or they say they're gonna do it and then they don't end up doing it or they get too busy. It's just a lot of the run around. So I would say definitely just getting those people. And a lot of times I would utilize like my friends and stuff, but even then some of them just they have their own things going on, or some of them are camera shy, or and it's like when you're doing this you want, especially if you're spending like money and stuff, like you want it to be done a certain way. So yeah, at least like I know with me, like me renting out that studio and stuff, like I could not afford to have like one of like my friends come because I didn't have anyone, and I invite them to come, and then they're shy in front of the camera. They keep messing up, and they want to like because once that button hits record, like people could be really talkative over the phone or on FaceTime, but once you're like in a setting like that, like this, or in a studio, like it's a whole different ball game. So yeah.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head with that. You definitely hit a home run right there because that's something a lot of us deal with. Because I even had friends that started off at hey, but realized that I can't count on them to show up. It's like, and
Yeah.
I've had people ask me about the podcast, but then when I give them an opportunity, they're nowhere to be found. I'm like, make it make sense. But
Yeah.
one thing
Disappear.
you just got to keep going. That's the one thing I tell
Disappear.
everybody.
Of course. And just try to, like you said, like even like reaching out to people like on social media that you don't know. Yeah. I've had a lot of people, like a lot of like supporters and stuff is the people that I don't necessarily know, like on TikTok or whatever it is. So yeah. Shout out to them.
Uh,
But
yes, shout out to the strangers we don't know. Ladies and
mhm.
gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Now, tell me, Spoon, what is your favorite kind of liquor you like to drink, or do you even drink?
Yes, I do. What's funny enough is that I did not start drinking until like I was like really drinking until I was like 30. I'm 35, so I'm gonna be 36 in May. But my favorite drink of choice would have to be tequila, even though it don't do me right the next day sometimes. But I would say tequila. I'm not like a Henny girl, a Douce girl, or I can't. It's mm-mm. What about
Yeah,
you?
I've definitely feel you on this. I'm versatile. I can do both. But if it's a white, it's definitely tequila. Like because I
Yeah.
can't even. I did vodka so much in college to where my body's like, nigga, please, what is you tripping? So
No, I
it's
can't
like
do vodka.
I can't really do vodka like that because I was in that era of hey partying hard on some rock and stuff and it's like but then after a while you drink something a lot then your body's just like nigga please.
Yeah, no. Um, I did enjoy like Cutwaters when they first came out. Um, it's like it was lime margaritas. It was delicious. I feel like the taste over time has changed, but that was one of my go-tos for sure. For sure.
Yeah, yeah. I know a lot of things change, huh?
Yeah. What are you sipping on now?
I'm sipping on a little rum and juice. I didn't have time to really get fancy with it. Now, see, if I was at a studio, I would definitely try to get fancy with it.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, ladies and gentlemen, I will be bringing drink recipes later this year. So,
Okay.
and side note, and I'm like, I can't believe you're older than me. I'm like, God damn.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 34. I'll be 35 in December.
Listen, shout out to all the people in their 30s who don't look like they're in their 30s, who look like they're literally like college years.
Yes, yes. Shout out to everybody in their college years, and also shout out to everybody. That's all the Aries out there because we just hit Aries season, and to the women that did me wrong who are Aries, I forgive you. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I will say this: it is 2025. People need to stop using their horoscope to justify their bad behavior. Don't be like it's the Virgo, it's the Sagittarius, it's the Cancer. Me, I don't want to hear that shit because I know somebody that same sign and they're an amazing person. I don't know what's up with your bad behavior.
Hmm. I think it's just like, yes, like I think like certain zodiacs have certain like characteristics or traits, but I do also think it's the person too. How they were raised, their experiences, like how they view the world, whether that being like relationships or whatever it is. Like it's definitely not just the zodiac, even though there are certain zodiacs that do have certain traits, I would say. But yeah, it's
Mm.
also just the person. Yes, it's the person.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it is the person, but I do agree with you. Certain zodiacs do have certain traits, but I've reached a point where I'm like, it's just the person because now you can't be telling me all these certain zodiacs are all the same person.
Question: is there a certain zodiac that dealt with romantically that you're like, about? Like, I would never talk to them again.
You know, I in my younger years, I would easily said Aries. It's tied between Aries and Cancers. But now that I'm older, I'm like, you know what? I'm flexible. I'm like, I really don't care what your sign is. It's just like, can you be consistent and can you communicate and can you make some shit happen? You know, because I can't hold on to the zodiac signs. Can't punch the one zodiac because I ran to a stupid idiot because I'm giving this stupid idiot a place in my head rent free. So that's how I look at it.
I
What do
agree.
you think?
I agree. Like zodiac that I wouldn't talk to.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say I would say the same as you, but I did have some really bad experiences with cancers. But that doesn't mean that all cancers are, bad because I've met some good ones. But yeah, I would probably say like cancers. But that was just like two experiences, and then one friend. I was like, but then I have another friend who's a cancer, and she's not like that. So I don't. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I think it was just those people.
Yeah, I think those people as well because I got a best friend from high school. Like he's been my best friend since like years. Me and him been know each other for almost 15 years, and he's a cancer. And and the women I've dealt with that were cancers, I'm like they were just the idiots. So that's how I know for a fact they ain't all of them.
It's not all of them. No, it's like I said, it's just the person. It's just like I said, how they're raised, how they view the world. That kind of determines how they'll be in a relationship or how they'll be in a friendship or how they'll be as like someone you work with. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I definitely feel you there. But once again, shout out to all my Aries. I know y'all go ahead and turn up because I know y'all season just started. And also shout out to the Pisces. I hope y'all enjoyed your time as well. So, but nevertheless, speaking of, since we're both over 30, quick question: do you have kids?
I do not. If you count like dogs, I have three. My
um,
fur baby.
I don't. I ain't got no kids either. I just got like two little cats that run around, So, and we which is why I asked this question. Why do people feel like it's a red flag that somebody is in their 30s and don't have no kids? And then I also see that somebody also felt like that's a red flag, and it's also another red flag if you've over 30 and ain't never been married. Like, why are they making this a red flag?
I honestly, I don't know. I don't think it's a red flag. There's a lot of, I feel like the idea of like the nuclear family. which is like, the husband, the wife, the two kids, the dog, and whatever it is. Like, I feel like that's kind of like progressed, I should say, over time. Like, now it's like, you might have like a mom who, um or a woman, like, let's say, like, for me, like, if I don't, find love, that's not going to stop me from having kids. Like, science is real. Science has progressed over time, so there's always an option of that. Even there's some people who they can't have kids. They might be infertile and they might not be able to have kids, or if that might not be in their journey, like they might not want to have kids. So I think, you know, it is kind of insensitive to say that someone's a red flag if they don't have kids, or if you know, they're not married, they might have traumas they're dealing with. So, yeah. I mean, I would say, like, growing up, I always say, like, by this age I'm going to have these many kids. Like by 25, like now I'm 35 and I should be married already with like 4 kids, and I'm not. So, yeah. I guess it's just like it's subjective. It really like depends on the person and how they choose to like live their lives, because I mean ultimately it's like you're calling me a red flag for not having kids and a husband, but then, what if like you have kids and you sometimes motherhood is not for certain people. Maybe being a wife
Hello.
isn't for certain people. So it's like you can't really say that because you don't know the person. Just because that's the route that you chose to take, it's not for everybody. Some people just want to pour everything they have into like their business, or their family that they have already, or their friends, or maybe their pets. I don't know. But yeah, that sucks for
Yeah,
people. It sucks.
it does suck, and it sucks for people in this generation that really believe that. I'm like, because, and also what's bad is our older generation, they look down on you as well. And because I remember
Mhm.
one time I met with somebody, he said, older man, he said, "Boy, when I was your age, I was on my third child. I was married down here, had my child." I'm like, "Sir, back when you were my age, shit was not so goddamn expensive. Sir, do you not know the price of eggs is that goddamn $6 or $7 right now, sir? Back
It's
in your time, back when you were making them damn kids, it was more affordable to raise a family. Now it's like, oh hell no! It's like you gotta rob everybody just to pay about 2 or 3 people.
mm,
It's not stable. So it's less.
it
And plus,
is.
people need to realize that their journey is not someone else's journey. You can't project your mistakes and your journey onto someone else. And it's like that's
Right.
why I'm blessed that my family, they haven't been pressing me for kids. I'm really, I'm blessed with that, because some families, they'll be like, "Oh, when are you gonna have a grandkid, or when am I gonna have a great niece or great nephew, or when we gonna have some cousins?" I'm like,
No.
but I thank God my family ain't like that.
I know. Yeah, it's definitely is. It does suck hearing like your family say that, but then it's like also dating was different back then. Like they didn't have social media, they didn't have Instagram, they didn't have like TikTok and a comment section and a like all this stuff kind of like plays into like some people not wanting to be in a relationship or have kids. Like, like dating is different now. Like, is it different for you or is it just me? Because I feel like the dating pool is like a little it's a little tainted. Like it got some stuff in it. Um so yeah, that's why it can be kind of hard to find like a good partner sometimes. So yeah.
Yes, you're not lying. The dating pool got everything but in it. And it's like, and it's kind of hard to find gems in the dating pool because you think you found something, and then the next thing this person goes ghost, or they just stop communicating, or they'll just tell you, "Oh, you're only good enough to be a friend," or they'll make up some damn excuses. So it's like,
Mm,
I don't know what's up with this dating pool. And also, another thing I have seen is women complaining that men don't show up to single events. Now, I'm like, for years, a lot of women have told men that they're not good enough and stuff, but I'm like, so what did y'all expect when now I'm seeing TikToks and Instagrams of women being at dating events and there are no men there? I'm like, well, what'd you expect? And plus, the man that you would probably give the time of day to, he ain't there.
I mean, dating events as far as like speed dating and stuff like that.
Yeah, like speed dating or
Um,
networking events or dating game events.
you know what's crazy is that I had a conversation with somebody about that. A lot of people, I think, like if they go to like these events like speed dating or whatever, I feel like they think that they look thirsty. I think it's all about people's like image and how they perceive, like they want to be perceived to the world. Like I feel like they think like if I do show up to like a speed date, I'm gonna look thirsty. I'm gonna look like I don't get girls or I don't get guys. And it's just like, no, like these are all, this is what you've been waiting for. Like you want to be in a room with single men and women or whatever it is. You want to be in these spaces to meet somebody. I don't think it's thirsty because I think it's like kind of the same as like if you are on a dating app, you know, or if you're like on Instagram. It's the same thing. Like I don't know. I guess people's perception of being thirsty is different from mine, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't feel like it's being thirsty either. I really feel like it's bad marketing. Number one, I feel like y'all not really out here doing the marketing job. Y'all not really out here
Mhm.
pressing the guys to come to events, and so y'all not really showing guys love and telling them, "Hey, show up to these events and stuff." Y'all not really out here marketing. Y'all out here marketing gearing it towards the ladies when y'all need to be gearing it towards both parties. And it's not a
Mhm.
bad thing if you find your date love your life on a dating app. I mean, who gives a fuck at the end of the day? You found somebody,
Mhm.
right?
I know a lot of people who found their love on dating apps. But I will say this is that I feel like the dating apps, like I feel like back like years ago, it was kind of it was different. I don't know, compared to now, because people could get on a dating app and then say like, oh, I'm looking for a relationship, something long term or whatever. And they say that because they want to meet people, and then you end up hanging out with them, meeting them, and all they want to do is just, like mess
Yeah.
around. They don't want anything serious. And dating apps also give you like too many options. So it's like
Yeah.
now you're like, who do I talk to today? Do I message her back or him back? Like, yeah, it could be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean it's a little easier for y'all because y'all get all the matches, but meanwhile, it's just at this point, it's just I look at whoever replies back or just replies consistently, then we move forward. But sometimes it's like people will reply to you one day, the next day it's I don't even know where you at, or they might reply to you and then 3 hours later you already deleted. I'm like, what the hell did I even say? Like, you that damn cutthroat, you got that damn mean matches that I can even say I just said hello to you and it's already deleted. I'm like, what the hell did I even say?
Yeah, that's why I said it's definitely, I don't know, it's definitely changed over time. Um, yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely changed over time. And also, another thing I will say is to all the people hating on podcasts out there that talk about this stuff, you don't have to listen. Hey, we still gonna be out here talking about this stuff because it's relevant. So quit hating on it because I saw the clip of a pastor being like, "Oh, there's too many podcasts out here with single people talking about dating." Well, guess what? We done been through some things, and we're telling our stories so someone else that's listening won't have to go through the same shit we experienced.
Right, yeah. I feel like sometimes people need this type of stuff. Honestly, I remember I was in a really dark space in my life, and I had just got up through I was going through like a breakup and stuff, and I found this vlogger on YouTube, and her videos really helped me. Like I felt like she was like talking to me. Like her videos really helped me get through that breakup. So, I would say yeah, podcasts are definitely needed.
Yes, we definitely need it because it's like it's helped me get through some dark phases when I was in relationships because it's like, hey, I got to a point where I could just laugh at my pain now. I don't even take it serious. I've gone from being sounding depressed on the podcast to now I can just laugh at my pain because I know that there are other people out there that relate to it.
Yeah, of course. It's always going to be somebody to relate to your story. I feel like we all go through similar experiences, just probably different times of our lives with different people, but we can all resonate with one another. And I think, we should all like, show each other some grace. Like if someone wants to get on here and even if they want to just sit and rant about their exes or about a horrible date they had, let them do that because there's somebody out there that you might be in California, and there's somebody on the other side of the world who probably went through the same thing you did the same day. So somebody's listening.
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. Somebody's listening. And also, I would rather you rant about it or get on the mic and talk about it than for you to be out here. Either you take your own life or you take that person's life.
Yeah.
Because I've seen too many stories where a woman or a man done killed somebody because they'd have been rejected or they'd have been dead wrong. And we don't need nobody. We don't need no more dead bodies out here. We need to be living
No,
and living for the fullest.
no,
Because if you kill yourself and you kill the other person, that's not helping nothing.
no. Yeah, mental health is definitely real and it should definitely be taken seriously for sure. So, if you out there and you're like going through whatever it is, please go talk to somebody. Get the help you need
Yes.
for sure.
Please do. Please go talk to somebody. Please go confide in somebody because we need you here. We don't need you 6 feet under.
Mm-mm.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Liquor Talk. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and take a shot for your boy. Go ahead and pour up because the more you drink, the better I sound. Now, tell me this, Simone. What do you think has to happen for the dating scene to improve? What do you think has to happen?
I think one thing is that people need to be honest about their intentions and what they want in the beginning, number one, because I feel like a lot of people are afraid that if they're honest about what they want, that that person is not going to talk to them anymore. But then it's like in the same breath, I feel like, let that person decide whether or not they want to talk to you. Like let's say if you meet somebody and they're into like polygamy or something, right? Or the person is a polygamist or whatever, and they don't, but on their dating profile, they say, I'm I practice monogamy or whatever it is. Like, but then as time progresses, that person, is hiding that they're, into polygamy or whatever. And then they all of a sudden you're sitting down on the couch one day watching TV and they're like, like, what if you want to like would you want to add someone to our situation? So it's definitely about being honest up front and letting the other person decide whether or not they want to talk to you or not.
Hello.
No sudden surprises, please.
Yes, no surprises. And another thing I will say is people need to quit waiting around for somebody to make them their number one. If you are the side person, stop waiting around for that person to make you the main person because you're always going to be that side person to them. And then what if you become that main person? You're going to be looking over your shoulder because you can't trust this person because you know what they say, you get them, you lose them the same way you get them. So you
Yeah,
can't trust that main person. You can't trust that person because how you expect this person to be loyal to you when they were cheating with you? Like,
right.
what
Oh,
logic is that?
yeah. No, I have friends that, yeah, male friends that definitely have those situations going on. So yes, for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm the side person, I'm just gonna know my role and shut up. But better believe once I find me somebody, you getting dropped. I'm not about to sit here and be your side person forever because I know there are some people that they will be the side person for 10, 15, 20 years. And then you look
Mhm.
up, they about your grandparents' age, like, oh, I want a man, I'm ready for a man. You done wasted your best years being a side person to somebody. Make it make sense.
Right. No, I feel you. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be a side. That's not something you should strive for. You're worth way more than that. So please, your person is out there. Don't try to, you know, wait on someone else's because that's not your person. Yeah. And like you
Yeah.
said, like you get them, you lose them how you get them or whatnot. So you don't want that to happen to you. Mm-mm.
You definitely don't want that to happen to you. And also, you gotta know from conversation if a person is capable of giving you what you may need in a woman or a man. Because sometimes we may be looking for this certain type of person in a totally different figure. Meaning, you might want in this man, but you're looking at the man that you know damn well ain't capable of doing those things. To do those things, or this kind of woman to do those things. So you gotta go by, and also you gotta go by a person's efforts too, because you might be looking
Yeah.
for maximum effort out of the person you want, but the person you need you're ignoring. It makes
Right.
sense. So quit ignoring people who are showing you that they're capable of giving you maximum effort.
I know. Yeah. No, the effort is definitely something that is you should definitely take in consideration because while that person might not, quote unquote be like your type or whatever it is, sometimes you have to switch up your type, to find happiness. Yeah.
Yeah. You
No.
definitely. I've got to the point where I'm like Ray Shrimmer. I ain't got no type, as personally, as long as it's somebody that's black and that got the same skin tone as me, that same use the same comb as me and stuff, and that I can look and I can be okay with bringing around the family, So,
Hmm.
but and it's like because it's like because you say you have a certain type, but that certain type might be doing you wrong every time. So it's like,
Right.
what's the point in having that type? It's like insanity to me. It's like you're doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
Different results. Yep. Hmm. Exactly. No, I agree. 100%. A
No,
thousand percent.
because I'm glad you do because I'm glad you can see that because some of your counterparts they just can't see that and they'll be like, "Oh, why am I single, ma'am, sir, ma'am? You're going for the same person over and over again. Like, what do you expect?"
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and I think that's just something that they just have to, figure out and navigate on their own. Um, One day I'm pretty sure that they'll wake up and be like, you know what? This is not working out for me. Let me, try something different. So, yeah.
Yes, yes. That one day, I hope that one day ain't the time where nobody's really checking for you because you're gonna be like 50, 60 years old. I hope you don't. Now I know that black don't crack, but come on now, who really checking for somebody in their 50s and 60s?
Hey, there's people out there. They have like these bars with like for the older crowd or whatever. I feel like, some people do get married in their 50s or 60s. Some people like literally like there's people like in our age, like in our 30s, and they don't want to settle down right now. They want to wait till their 40s and 50s. I feel like that
Yeah,
is with a lot of people. A lot of people.
that is true, but they may not settle down with somebody their own age. They might get somebody 20 years younger. I'm
Mm,
like, and that's why I'm
yeah.
like, what do y'all really
Each
talk
their
about? But
own. Yeah. Yeah.
but I can't see myself settling down with somebody that's like 20 years younger than me. I'm like,
No,
because
me
what are we
neither.
really gonna talk about?
No, we live different it's just it would just be it would be too difficult for me. It would be way too difficult for me. I couldn't do it. No.
Yeah,
I know like a lot of like back in the days or whatnot they would do that. Like, like even like with our parents like our dad might be 10, 15 years older than our moms. So, but yeah.
yeah, like, and because I know my dad was like 32 when he met my mom. My mother was just like a teenager when he met her. I'm like, what
Ooh.
the hell were you thinking? And it's less because I'm at my dad's age now. I'm like, sir, what the hell were you think? Because I'm at this age now. I'm not checking for nobody in their 18 or 19. I'm like, I want to
Right.
encourage them to go to college or do whatever to live their best life or I want to empower them and enlighten them and motivate them. I'm not trying to settle down with somebody that young.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. So what's the youngest person, like the age? Like what's your age range? Like the youngest and the oldest person that you would talk to?
I would say the youngest would. I would have to say you need to be old enough to run a car and not get which would be 25 because if you're under 25 they hit you with that fee. So I would
Oh, they hit you
say
with what? Rent to do what with a car?
rent a car. You know them car rental
Oh, to rent a
places.
car. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the rent a car they'll hit you with them fee if you under
Okay.
25.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say 25 and up. It's less.
Okay.
Um,
And the
I'm not
oldest?
oldest. I would say somewhere in their 40s. No older than my mother. My mother's in her 50s. So I mean, so that's a pretty narrow age range. What about you?
Hmm. I would definitely say maybe like 29 would probably be the youngest, but you would have to be turning 30 this year. And
That
then
makes
the
sense.
the oldest will probably be like 40, 40, 40.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
we make sense because I'm not gonna. I saw the TikTok of the lady that was 27 years old that was married to a 51-year-old man, and she was posting about it. I'm like, ma'am, what the hell were you expecting?
Like she posting like bad things or like she.
I guess she posted the days of her life, and I guess people talked about it. I'm like, well, what the hell were you expecting?
I've been seeing those, yeah. Yeah. Well, love is love. You can't help who you love.
I guess you can't help who you love, but at the same time, I'm like, but what the hell are y'all really doing together? Besides fooling around, like what are y'all doing?
No,
Are y'all
I get
starting a
you.
business together, or
Yeah,
what are we really doing here? Because hey,
yeah.
and also you need somebody with that same mindset that That's why I would
Mhm.
look for somebody definitely older, not somebody just going
Mm-hmm.
to
Hmm.
college.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and also I'm not trying to be looked upon, and which is why I can respect what you say about date your age range, because I know a lot of women who are 38, 39, looking at young boys in the NBA like 20, 22, 23. I'm like, ma'am, but y'all know, society knows if it was the other way around, everybody be raising hell.
Mm. Yeah, they would if it was like an older guy with like a yeah.
If it was
Yeah.
an older guy with a young
Younger.
23 year
Mhm.
old, I bet who's in the spotlight, everybody be raising hell about it. But nobody's
Mhm.
saying anything about these 39, 40-year-old women who get knocked up by these 20-year-old men who are like NBA players and stuff.
Mhm. Mhm. But it's crazy. People do talk though. I mean, from like me seeing like on social media, people do have, certain things to say. But I mean, they don't care. They're living their life and they happy. So they're probably like, I don't care.
Yeah, I know everybody say I don't care either, but I still be like, what are y'all really thinking here?
I
Like,
wouldn't I couldn't talk to somebody younger than 25. It just be just they haven't experienced life yet. Like they barely just became the legal age to like drink and go to clubs and like you know what I mean. And I feel like our 20s is for a time of us like really like having fun and and I feel like 30s we're still having fun, but we're also like settling down and stuff. Some people settle down in their 20s, but I don't know. Yeah, it would have to be. I just couldn't do it. It's not for me.
yeah, clearly it's not for me either. And it's like, because they say a 20s is supposed to be your selfish time, a time to find
Yeah,
yourself, time to explore the world, go turn up, and then
yeah,
worry about that when you're in your 30s and stuff, because your 20s, you have all the energy in the world and stuff. You ain't no body part hurting.
yeah. Because me personally, I would think like, okay, yes, but then it's like when they're in their 30s, I would be like pushing 50. So it would like like I don't know. It would be too weird for me. Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, it would. I definitely agree with you, because I would definitely. I feel like, yeah, I'm about to hit that same age. Nah, I'm not trying to do that, because their mindset might be different, and also they
Mhm.
might be trying to leave at that point in time. You never know.
Right? Yeah, you just never know. You never know. You never know. And
Yes,
I don't
ladies
want
and
to take
gentlemen.
a chance.
Yeah, and you're right. I wouldn't want to take that chance either.
No, definitely not.
So, so it's like I'll stick to my guns and take my chances, but I'm not going to go that low now, because it's like you just never know with them.
Agreed.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Liquor Talk. If you are enjoying this conversation, please hit that subscribe button, show some love. And if you want to be a future guest, go ahead and click the link in the bio. We'll definitely make it happen. Now, Simone, I got this to ask, going back to the dating field. Why is it that no one is seeking companionship? And what a companion is, someone is that can do everything. They can be the homie when you need a homie, a lover when you need a lover, a therapist when you need a
Mhm.
therapist, a motivator when you need the motivator, and that person that can be an all around person that that is down for you. Nowadays, people in relationships that be seeking things, it feels like they just want to see what a person has, instead of
Mhm.
seeking a companion, which is somebody that can encompass everything, no matter what they bring to the table.
So are you saying like speaking like they're in a relationship and it's like why they're not being like they're not seeking companionship and they're already in the relationship, or you mean prior to the relationship?
Prior to the relationship, because this might go back to part of the reason the dating pool being trash. It's like nobody's really seeking a companion, because I remember watching a clip of someone saying that their ex-husband, that they made more than them, but they know this person really loved them, and this person would go above and beyond for them,
Mhm.
and this person would show those qualities of a true companion. But today it's like people just want to either hurt somebody before they get hurt, or they want to use someone for whatever they can bring,
Mm.
for whatever they have.
Mhm. Well, I think it's very important before you get into a relationship to be that person's like friend. Um, I feel like it's very important to like date and talk and get to know each other even before you get in a relationship. That's why, I mean, listen, to people who jump into relationships after like a week or a couple weeks, like that's you, that's what you want to do. That's your prerogative or whatever. But like for me personally, I do think that getting time to know somebody would definitely how do I word it? Getting taking the time to actually becoming friends with that person will kind of like it will add to like your relationship because I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who is not my friend, who I can't come to and confide in, who I feel uncomfortable if I needed help, like paying like a bill or something. I feel uncomfortable asking them for money or whatnot. You know what I mean? Like because I've jumped into situations really fast with a person and it was just really awkward and it was just strictly like romance, but it wasn't like it was no depth to it. Like it wasn't like we really didn't have good conversations. I was like, why am I? But this was like when I was way younger. Why am I? It's like why am I with this person? But then I spent like some time getting to know somebody and becoming their friend. I'm like, oh yeah. But then on the other side, it's like, it doesn't work out. You're like, damn, we should have remained friends because that definitely happened to me before. But
Yeah.
yeah. I personally think that being friends with your partner is number one. Very important.
Yes, you need to be friends with your partner. I definitely agree with that. And also, I wouldn't hit on somebody that is already a friend because that happened to me too back in college. You hit on somebody that has been a friend and it's like because it would because personally I was like this other shit ain't work for me. So why not look at somebody that's already a friend? But I would definitely
Mm,
say if they're already a friend for if you've been friends for over a year, don't even look at them. Just look at them as friends. But the only
yeah.
thing about being friends with somebody is sometimes you get trapped in that. Some people will realize how good you are, and they'll be trying to trap you as a friend and be like, "Oh, you're just good enough to
Mhm.
be a friend." I'm like, "You are fucking missing out
Mm.
over here, just leaving me as a friend. Meanwhile,
Friend
you still get
zoned.
your heart broken, and you're expecting me to have empathy for you. But I'm be
Mhm.
like, ain't no damn empathy. You could have had me, but you still get your heart broken."
Mhm. I mean, I guess I've heard of success stories with people like starting off as friends. I think it just depends on how emotionally mature a person is. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Okay, so I have a question because I have a friend and we talk about this all the time. Do you think that friends of the same like sex, like male and female, um, could be friends, strictly friends?
I think they can, as long as y'all establish boundaries and y'all know what's up. Then yeah, because I have homegirls that from college that we may not talk as much today, but we were always together. We knew that we were just friends, and because
Yeah.
that this homegirl was always giving me advice, and that I was giving them advice and feedback and stuff. So yeah, I think it's very very possible, but as long as everybody establishes boundaries and stuff. But if you feel some kind of romance towards them, just put it out there. Don't let it go
Mhm.
sometime and where y'all already been established as friends because then they're gonna look at you some type of way if like say you've been friends for 6 or 7 months, but then you look at them like, hey, I want to date you. Y'all know damn
Mhm.
well y'all gonna be looking at them some kind of way like now you want to date me
Yeah.
instead of just being friends.
And then do you think you could come back from that? Like once somebody crosses that boundary, do you think that you can go back to just being friends? Like if somebody confesses their love for you, can you really just be their friend like that again? Like will it go back to normal?
I mean, if you don't feel that same way, I mean, it would take some years. Honestly, it would really
Yeah.
it would take some years. I would say nothing immediate, but it would really take some years for that bond to come back. It's not like you're gonna make a new enemy out of it, but it would really take a year or two out of it, and it's gonna take some years before y'all can get back to being
Yeah.
that kind of friend again because you're gonna be feeling hurt like damn I really loved you like that. You're gonna be really feeling hurt.
Yeah, and I think things could be very awkward, especially if that one of the either parties get into a relationship and then their partner might not want y'all to be friends anymore because, you know, they know that the friend had a crush on them or wanted to, be in a relationship with them. So it can definitely be a little awkward, but
It's definitely awkward, and also in certain cases where in that case, it sounds like the person don't really trust their partner, because part of being in a relationship, you gotta trust your partner, and also you gotta trust them. But then if they do some stupid shit, give it time; it will reveal itself. I mean, yes, ladies are definitely smarter than men, but guess what? Y'all make mistakes too, and men, we make mistakes as well.
yeah.
And guess what? The person will find out at the right time. So if it happens, then yeah.
Yeah, no one's perfect. No one's
Yeah,
perfect.
yes, no one is perfect. And now, should do you feel like people should seek a companion, a person that can do everything instead of just trying to seek out somebody just for their benefits or how they can benefit you?
Okay, are you meaning like so I can understand the question? So let's
Um,
say for instance, I met someone, right?
mm-hmm.
And are you meaning like me strictly just being their friend and like we gain from each other that way, but it's not a title behind it?
Yeah, something like that. Because a lot of times people will look to hop in a relationship just so that they can have somebody to pay my bills, or somebody to
Mm,
lay up with, or somebody that can give me a ride to places, or some men, they might be looking for a relationship just to have somebody they can have somebody to sleep at, or and a
mm.
car to use. Which I'll be like, fella, I'm like, ma'am, do better, ma'am, do better.
Oh no, I definitely would never seek that. I feel like I want to have my own stuff going on aside from like my partner. I would never, no, absolutely not. I don't want to rely on anybody to do anything for me. Like my trust is like out the window a lot. Like I don't know, I could be a little guarded sometimes, but that's, whatever, working on that. But I would say absolutely not. No, I don't ever get into relationships because this person has X, Y, and Z. Even if I was to meet somebody tomorrow and they could be like super rich, I don't think I would ever ask them for anything. I wouldn't expect anything. It's not my money. So I'm definitely not going to expect anything from them. If they want to offer it to me, fine, but I don't want them to feel like they're obligated to give me these things. It's yeah, it will never be about money for me because there are some people with money and they're really crappy people and I don't want to be associated with someone like that. So I would definitely not. No. I would never get in a relationship with somebody just for what they have. That's not me.
Agreed. I definitely wouldn't get in a relationship with somebody just for whatever they have either, because they might have everything, but they might be a crappy person. They might be out here
Mhm.
cheating on you. They might abuse you physically and mentally. They might shit on your dreams. No, you need somebody that's going to empower you, and also you need somebody with ambition nowadays, because you meet somebody is that can change, because if you have the right
Yeah,
ambition with the drive, they can make something happen, and you could be that driving force behind them.
of course. And then it's like when you meet someone, they're always gonna put on their best self. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to win you
Hmm.
over. And like you said, things over time can definitely change. So yeah, yeah, I can't do it. I don't have that like mentality. Um, I would want like a partner, just someone that will can make me happy. If they do come from money or if they have like, something good, money like going for themselves or whatever, that's cool too. But I would not look at them as like I'm their employee and they're my employer or something like that. I No, absolutely not.
Respect. You ain't trying to be the trophy wife or the trophy person.
I
No,
want to have my
I
own
couldn't do
stuff
that.
going on.
No,
Definitely not.
because it's like we all got our own things we're trying to do, and if you want to help with that, great. But I'm not
Mhm,
looking for you to help that. Just be that person. Be
now,
be the.
if I was right, and if I was to
Mm.
meet an individual and they wanted to help me, I'd be like, support my podcast, or you know what I mean, like fund that dream. I don't want like Chanel bags and like stuff like that. I don't want that. I don't wear that already. Like I've never dreamed of like having all these expensive things. Like I'm happy with like, if I wherever I shop, if it's Shein or Fashion Nova or Forever, wherever it is, I'm happy with that. No. Mm-mm.
Agreed. I agree. I mean, you sound like a real catch over here. It's like because it's like you sound really like down to earth, and I can really respect that because not a lot of women are like that from my point of view. Like not a lot of women are like that. They're just like trying to figure out what they can get out of you, and also they just I don't they look for benefits, and a lot of them they
Yeah.
gotta humble themselves. I'm like, ma'am. That's why I say rest in peace to Kevin Samuels because sometimes his advice may have been harsh, but he was telling the truth.
Mm. You know what? I also think that it's like if you get in a relationship with somebody with money and you're used to like living a certain lifestyle, let's say if that relationship like ends, it's like it can also affect you like your mental health because you're used to living a certain lifestyle. And now all of a sudden, like instead of like taking trips every month or driving a Porsche and all that, like all that stuff has like, you know, it you lost all that stuff once that relationship, ended. So I think it could definitely like, take a toll on like your mental health because I feel like you're gonna always be like in that mentality, like I have to date somebody rich, I have to date somebody with money, I have to date somebody that spoils me. And I don't think that's a really good mentality to like live. It's cool to chase a bag, but not to where it's going to affect you to in a sense to where it's like now you're like putting yourselves in situations and that you're not happy and you're unhappy just to live a certain lifestyle.
Agreed. And also, if you had a mindset we can chase a bag together or you can go get a bag yourself, then there wouldn't be a problem.
Right.
But not a lot of people have that mindset of I'm gonna go get this bag with or without you, And they don't
Right.
have that mindset. And a lot of people a lot of people they rely on they rely on gender roles a little too much instead of learning how to do the shit yourself to where you don't have to count on somebody to make it happen for you, so that way if this person left tomorrow, you gotta have the mindset that you're gonna be all right. Now
Yeah.
it's like a lot of people they don't have that mindset to go get it and to go do shit themselves. They want it done for them. Like, and
Mhm.
to the men out there, if you want to live with somebody, be with somebody just because you need a place to stay, I'm like, bro, you need to go ahead and get you a place to stay. Go ahead and get you a car. I mean, it ain't that damn hard now. I know times is tough, but I'm not giving you that excuse.
No, you should definitely not rely on anybody for anything because, like I said, that person could wake up and be like, "I'm tired of you," and leave you, and then now you have this car that you can't pay for. You're in uh, this loft or apartment that you can't afford, and now you're stuck and in debt, and it's never worth it. It's never worth
Yes,
it.
it's never worth it. It's never worth it. And last word, what's one thing you want to leave the single people with who are out here? Like, because I'm personally, I tell them this on every episode. Y'all need to hang in there because I'm fucking hanging in there with y'all right now. So
Like a piece of advice I would give to single people out here,
yeah, because it's a lot of people because we ain't the only ones.
I would say just chase self love. Love on yourself more and more each day. Spend time by yourself. Like be your own love languages. If your love language is acts of service, take I don't know, go cook for yourself or something. Or if it's, words of affirmations, like tell yourself you're beautiful and you're worthy every day. So just finding that like that self love because I feel like no one's gonna love you the way you can love yourself. Because I know what I love and I know what, I want and what my worth and, the type of person I'm, looking for. And until then, I'm going to love myself enough. So when that person comes, I'm already just enough alone. And I'm just, they're my cherry on top. And I'm the full Sunday. So yes, that's
Yes,
what I would say.
agreed. I definitely agree. You definitely got to love on yourself. You got to empower
Mhm.
yourself to push through, and also don't look for nobody to empower you. Don't no look for nobody to help you out. You got to bring your own shit to the table. Don't look for them to compliment you. And like you said, they got to be the cherry on top.
Yeah. What about you? What would you say?
I definitely gotta say you gotta keep pushing, and also don't fucking settle. Don't be out here trying to settle because, like, personally, like, no offense to single moms, but I just can't really take them seriously because they're gonna be looking at me like you need to be doing this, need to be doing that. I'm like, ma'am, I didn't make a baby here. I'm not the man you made the baby with, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
need you. So my advice would definitely be to hang in there, number one, and number two, don't
Mm-hmm.
settle. Don't settle for no single mom or no single dad. Now, if you got the heart to do so and you really love this person, go for it. But don't do
Mm-hmm.
it unless don't fucking settle for anybody.
Right. Just choose you, because you're the
Yes.
prize. Always think,
Yeah.
always believe you're the prize.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you always believe you the damn prize. I don't care how old you are and you ain't got no damn kids. We winning right now. People that are childless, we winning right now. I don't give a damn what people got to say. We winning right now because the shit's expensive and we we only got to take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, what you got planned for the podcast for the rest of the year?
Um, I would say definitely I'm gonna like produce more episodes. Like I have one coming. I think I'm gonna post it on Sunday, so I'll definitely share it with you. I'm trying to film again next month. I'm trying to get my people going, like the people that I'm gonna invite on. So yeah, I'm just working on that. Mm-hmm.
That's real. Lastly, why do people need to tap in with the neighborhood sessions?
If you want like a good laugh, if you want to feel like you're sitting in front of the how I always say it is like when the guests I have come on, I want you to feel like number one, I want them to feel comfortable enough to like be themselves. Don't feel like they have to act a certain way just because the cameras are rolling. Um, and then number two, I want everyone at home to feel like they're just sitting in front of two friends just having a conversation about like life and sharing their experiences and stuff. And I want like my guests to feel like they're sitting across from their homegirl and they're just so happen to be a camera in front of us. So yes. So expect plenty of laughs. Um, and we're gonna touch on a lot of topics that I'm sure will definitely resonate with a lot of you.
That's
Yeah.
real. Well, Simone, I want to thank you for having around me on the Liquor Talk. And whenever you need me to pop on your podcast, I might be in Florida, but I'm just one DM away. So whenever you want to make that happen, just let me know, and I am there. But thank you for blessing the
Definitely,
Liquor Talk with your
definitely. Of
presence
course.
today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you to listeners out there, whether you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or the MBG Podcast Network, or the Good Pods, wherever you listen to us. Leave us a comment, leave some feedback, whatever you want us to know. Please
Yes.
support the Liquor Talk and everything that we do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Victor. I'm out for the Liquor Talk. Remember to take a shot with life and keep it pushing because everything is just temporary. Get back from the L's and continue to build to some more W's. We're taking over for the 25 and the 26. We out this thing, y'all. This has been the Liquor Talk Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.